Hey everyone, and welcome. So, just think about your day so far. How many PDFs have you already opened? You've got contracts, invoices, reports, maybe even a user manual for some new gadget. They're everywhere. They're basically the digital paper of our modern lives, right? The format we rely on for almost everything important. But here's a question we almost never stop to ask ourselves. Is this PDF actually telling me the truth? It seems like such a simple question, doesn't it? But, the answer is surprisingly complex, and honestly, it's a little alarming. So let's pull back the curtain and see what's really going on. You see, a PDF isn't just what you see on the screen, the text and the pictures. Nope, it's really a container. And just like any container, it can have, say, a false bottom or some hidden compartments. So what's really hiding beneath the surface of these documents we trust every single day? Okay, first up is probably the most straightforward and, frankly, the most dangerous threat: document tampering. Just imagine a legal contract or a financial invoice where a key number, like a payment amount or a critical date, has been silently altered. There are no visual clues, no red ink, nothing. Just a fundamental piece of information that's been changed without you ever knowing. Then you've got malicious content. This is basically the Trojan horse of the PDF world. Hidden deep inside the document structure could be malicious JavaScript or even entire programs, just sitting there, waiting for you to open the PDF so they can compromise your whole system. And finally, there's something called metadata manipulation. The best way to think of a document's metadata is as its birth certificate, right? It says who made it, what software was used, and when it was created. Well, all of that can be completely faked to make a fraudulent document look totally legit. So the crucial point here is that we're dealing with a hidden battlefield. Whether it's through these silent modifications, malicious code, or faked metadata, your standard PDF viewer, it just isn't built to see any of this, leaving you completely exposed. But what if you had a specialist, a kind of digital detective that could investigate your documents for you before you ever decide to trust them? Well, that's the exact idea behind a new open source tool called Trust PDF. At its core, Trust PDF is built to do three key things. First, it hunts for any signs of tampering. Second, it checks the document's fundamental structure for any flaws. And third, it sniffs out any security risks that might be hiding inside. It's basically a full, comprehensive checkup for your files. So how exactly does it play detective? Well, let's go inside the security scan to see how Trust PDF finds the truth. And don't worry, we're not going to get lost in the code or anything, but we are going to look at the purpose behind its key checks. Trust PDF runs this comprehensive 8-point inspection on every single file. And this isn't just a quick glance. No, it's a methodical, step-by-step investigation that covers everything from the document's creation history all the way down to its very digital foundation. Let's look at a specific example to see what I mean. Check number 3 is all about verifying the source software. Trust PDF actually keeps a curated list of legitimate, trusted programs that are used to create PDFs. It's kind of like checking the ID of the person who handed you the document to see if they're on an approved list. And what's really interesting is the precision involved here. To avoid false alarms, the tool uses a 90% similarity threshold. This means it needs to be highly confident that the software is suspicious before it even raises a flag. It's all about accuracy. Then you have check number 4, which has a total zero tolerance policy for what are called incremental updates. So what does that mean? Essentially, any modification made after the document was first created is a massive red flag. Think of it like buying a brand new shrink-wrapped book and then finding handwritten notes in the margins. You'd know something is definitely off. And of course, checks 5 and 7 are all about searching for those hidden dangers we talked about. The Trojan horses. The tool is actively hunting for any embedded JavaScript or other hidden files that have absolutely no business being in a simple document, and it flags them immediately. So after all of that deep technical analysis, what do you, the user, actually get? This is where the tool does something brilliant. It bridges that critical gap from super complex data to simple, understandable clarity. It uses a scoring algorithm to classify the document's overall risk. So instead of getting a stream of technical jargon, you get a clear verdict. Is this document a critical risk, or are we just looking at some minor issues? It's that simple. And ultimately, it all comes down to this: a simple, color-coded traffic light for your document. red, yellow, or green. You don't need to be a security expert to instantly get it. It's just a clear, final answer designed so that anyone can use it. Okay, so why does any of this really matter? Let's zoom back out for a moment and look at the real-world impact of being able to truly trust our digital documents. Look, this is about so much more than a file scan. It's about preventing a major security breach that could come from a single malicious invoice. It's about upholding legal and regulatory standards by proving a document is authentic. And maybe most importantly, it's about empowering everyone, not just the experts, with clear, actionable intelligence about the files we use every day. The project's creators summed it up perfectly in their documentation. They said that its success validates the approach of combining technical excellence with user-centric design. In other words, powerful technology is only truly great when it's easy for people to actually use it. Which leaves us with a pretty fascinating question to think about. In a world where digital copies are perfect and endless, what is it that actually makes a document real? What is the foundation of our digital trust? Thanks for joining this explainer.